All right. I'm
Welcome
starting.
to episode 8.
Oh, you're going. Sorry. Go
Oh,
ahead.
welcome to Ep8. That's all I wanted to say.
Episode 8. All right, we're kicking it off recording together today. Claps in chat. There's no chat. Uh, raise your hands in the comment section, I guess, since we're actually recording together at the beginning, and we are crossing our fingers that everything goes way better this time than it did last time. Today, we are working
Hopefully we
on
don't die.
the storage. What?
Hopefully we don't die. We're just building,
I think
especially in creative.
I'd break my streak of dying in like every episode. So
I mean, we can do it. We can do it.
we can do it. We can
We'll
do
we'll
it.
find a way.
Yeah. You want to tell them what we're working on today?
So today we're working on this thing behind us. Gotta remember how to turn on. This is gonna be our bulk storage. So over here, if you remember, in our creative world, we had this giant tower that came up over here. So we're gonna have up the corners. We're gonna bring up items and somehow get them over here, probably through the mountain. And then we're gonna store everything over here. So we'll have like a doorway right here, and I think we're gonna have this be open on this side so we can just fly in whenever we want. And then in this back corner, we'll have like an elevator going from floor to floor. So we'll have iron on one, iron and poppies, I guess, on the same floor. Then we'll have sugarcane, bamboo. We might have one below this. Is that what the plan was?
Yeah.
Because we didn't want to go too far up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have one below this. That will be like whatever the other one is. Oh, gunpowder. Whenever we get that built.
Yep. Bamboo, sugarcane, gunpowder, iron, and poppies.
It
4
is sun.
floors for now. That's the 4 main ones that we got right now. So that's the 4 storage things that we're gonna have. And then we will catch you guys up once we get something sort of going here. This is the first initial floor, but it's not the right materials yet. We're just sort of framing things out. So I guess we'll see you in a couple minutes for us, seconds for you. Grand reveal?
Oh,
You
grand
were already
reveal.
looking. Grand reveal. This is the back of my head. And ta-da! Here is what we're thinking. Trying to grab some colors that we used in the bridge to incorporate into this build so that it all matches. Looks like it's all built by the same people. A little bit of folklore, or just lore, I guess. It doesn't have to be folklore, but some lore to go into a story being told here with the village that we're creating. So we're grabbing similar materials to our houses, and then the bridge build is right next to it. With the spruce wood, the stone walls, and stone bricks and stuff like that.
But
Yeah,
also,
go ahead.
uh, as you can see, it sort of brings in how this building obviously came later because we have more uh, materials like the wealthy iron blocks in here and the honey blocks and just the sheer number of chests, I guess.
Yeah, so we are currently overflowing with iron blocks, so I decided just to sort of throw them in here in the accent spots. We're using spruce um, gates to just look like structural pieces, but then sort of add some depth to the build, and it creates variation between the layers. So we're using it as the top layer, as well as this little separation where the ground level, between the ground level and the basement, quote unquote basement level. We have an elevator that's made of honey blocks here. Johnny might demonstrate. There you go. The key here is that the honey blocks are less than 1 block. So if you actually jam your character all the way in to the corner, as Johnny's showing, you can get sucked up by the water column behind it. But then if you want to fall down, you can just stick to the other corner and then catch the honey block to slow yourself down. That'll take you from floor to floor as well as all the way up to the top, which is where we are currently growing all of our trees.
And we'll have to sort of rearrange this so it's not just in the middle of one of the corrals. But
Yeah,
yeah, we'll definitely just rearrange all the trees so that it's just a nice entrance right here.
yeah. So the last little bit here, at least from my point of view, um, is what this would look like when we come up this main promenade. So if you're coming up from the lower village up to the bridge, you're going to see just the top three floors poking out over the bridge, and it blends right in with the corner of this mountain. We brought the land down on top of it to sort of tuck it in a little bit more, and then here you can just walk directly in. And then Johnny even pointed out to me while we were building that if you come down to this bottom floor, you get a nice view of that underside of the bridge that we mentioned you might never see again. Well, now you'll see it behind us as we whip around on this bottom floor. So this is what the storage is going to look like. One item for each floor, or one farm for each floor, so that we don't have to do a lot of redstone. And it'll just be piped in individually.
Starting to get a good view over here from my balcony. Village is coming together.
Yeah, and then the last part will be that scaffolding eventually. Bring it up right in the middle. And that'll sort of seal off this view, which will be really nice. Really nice view. Okay, and here we are back on the normal world. So we've got our wings on. We can't double jump to fly, even though it's an exact copy. We've created everything in survival as you saw in that time lapse there. We've still got some scaffolding running up and down the sides because unfortunately we just don't have enough honey yet to get the elevator to the top of the farm, let alone to the top of the world. So there's still some minor details that we have to cover. Johnny's going to take care of some other things in the rest of this episode. What were those that you were gonna take care of?
Oh, I was gonna finish the honey first off, so get all the rest of the honey. So probably just automate my bees. I'm gonna try to hook up on and off switches. So every level is gonna be different. So like the bottom, if we're getting too much iron, I could just switch off the iron farm, or let's say bamboo and sugarcane. If we need another one, be able to just push a button that automatically starts the sugarcane farm down there. And also just I guess hooking up those water streams all the way up to here.
Yeah, so it should be a busy weekend for the rest of the time. I think my work is done. I'll sort of dress up around the outside here. I'm gonna try and finish off landscaping the rest of this upper level around our homes in this episode. So by the end of this, it should be a pretty sweet view all the way through this housing layer, I guess is what we'll call it, this housing level. Um, and then slowly start moving our way down and building up this village and its infrastructure. All right, so there it is, the finished product. All of the storage is here. All the chests are in. There's no longer any random blocks running up the side of it as scaffolding. Johnny has actually come in. He automated his bee setup. Really cool setup. If you want to see the details of that, go watch his video. It'll be linked at the end of my video. But he also went ahead, and since he automated all of the honey, the entire water elevator is now finished. All the levels are in, and Johnny also went ahead and maybe it starts on this side. Yeah, poppies, iron, it's all coming in now. So you can see just how much iron comes in here. He's also gone ahead and put an on-off switch in here for the iron farm. Also cool. Also in his video. Go check that out if you can. Again, linked at the end of this video. So that means that this elevator now goes all the way up to the top of the mountain where we have our tree farm. Where you can see here we got some uh, birch, dark oak, acacia growing back there, some spruce, and this is usually where we're grown oak, but we cleared all that out to get the elevator up, and we're gonna rearrange that later. But as you can see down here, we've got plenty going on here. So there's the storage that's done. Another little thing that I've done over here is I've started to sort of terraform this portion here. Before it just came straight out and that was really tough. So knocked most of it down, started to blend it down this way so that it looks a little bit more natural and less broken. But the big news here is this portion right here. So if you look over here, I've started to terraform this cliff underneath the armorer's house. So that's where all of our armorers are going to go to get some armor and tools and stuff. They'll be up there. I've supported it underneath so it looks a little bit more natural. Oof, almost fell off there. Let's watch that. Hold shift a little. So that's our original farm that we started with. The wheat and carrots and sugar cane that we picked up. We just built it right around a pre-loaded farm that was here with the village. I brought these pillars down, added lots of texture. Let's go look at it from up close. And then also started slabbing all of these staircases so that you can make it all the way up without having to jump so much and waste so much food. Put in this tiny little pond. I think it's really really cute to have the vines behind it growing to add in some texture as well. I put these little walls here and then just waterlog them so that it sort of looks like they're stepping stones. It's a cool little trick that I saw Etho do as well as BOO. So added in some grass and some flowers here. Come around this cliffside. We'll get to this portion here a little bit later, but it wraps all the way around the building, and again just sits above. Hey there, farmer. Sits above this natural farm that guy has wandered into and now made it his home. So it's a really nice moment here of just trying to tie in the cliff. If we look at it from a little further away, you'll actually start to see how now that just naturally blends in. Before it was just a big platform. You can go back to a couple episodes and see how that was. And now I've just added in some greenery so that it breaks up the gray of the cliffs. Some vines are growing down that cliff to show that like water has been running down this cliff for quite some time, and there's the waterfall that runs down from in front of the masonry hut. So that's a big improvement. That took a week or two for me to just sort of get framed out and um, gather materials for it, smelt up some stone, but it's complete now, and I'm really, really pleased with how it turned out. All right, we're back here on this middle level. There's that original farm. Uh, that we were just at before we flew across the way. There's the cliff that we've been working on, and then here's the pathway that leads up to it. So added some path blocks, some slabs to go up there, and now we can just walk from the bottom all the way to the top. The rest of this episode is just going to be a review of everything that I've done in the last couple months. I have been playing on and off. I've had some family vacations that I've been on and some family time that I've been spending. So in my spare time, I've been playing on the server, but just not recording a lot. So I'm just going to recap everything I've been working on and catch you guys up on where we're at and what we're preparing for. So here is the armor house. That's what, when I refer to the armorers, that's what I'm talking about. Um, and then this is the masons workstation. So I've got two workstations up here. And for some reason they can't pathfind to them. I thought maybe they could just connect to them here, but I guess they have to actually like physically be able to pathfind to them. So this guy works over here on this stone cutter. And then they kept wandering out of this place and then floating down the river and then eventually dying. So this is Mason number like 7. I don't know what number we're on. So I dug out this portion underneath and put in just a bedroom and then put gates on the front so that I can come in and come out, but villagers can't pathfind through gates and they can't open them. So underneath these carpets are just saws or stone cutters. So each villager will then get a bed and then they should be able to just match up with one of the stone cutters underneath the carpet. And then there's one less stone cutter down here because of the one that's upstairs. Another big improvement here is the super smelter. So this is now a super smelter. The input goes in this chest. The output comes out here in these two barrels. And then the biggest improvement, I'm pretty sure I covered that in the last episode, but the biggest improvement to this farm is a lot of redstone, and I'm going to do my best to show you how this redstone works. But the biggest issue here is that we get a lot of bamboo from our bamboo farm. So it will fill up these hoppers very quickly, and they're already full now. And then once they get filled, we still have stacks and stacks and stacks of bamboo coming. So Johnny's rearranged this feed system, and this is a really unique system. I've never seen someone do this before. Johnny's actually found a way to sequence the hoppers so that this hopper fills up first, then there's a hopper underneath the cake that fills up second, then this one, then this one. And then if that one's absolutely full, it's okay because he's actually put two hoppers underneath that as well to pull um, bamboo out of those hoppers as well as put them into this chest. See, so we're almost all already backed up here, which technically we are backed up here because if this hopper goes above to or more than half the large chest gets filled, then it actually starts to spit bamboo into an overflow, which I'll show in just a little bit. But if you want to see the specifics of how Johnny came about and like stumbled upon this solution, go check out his video again, linked at the end. So what I did is I came in here and I pulled a comparator off of that hopper. So the comparator that I'm using is right there. So it reads the contents of this hopper. And what I did is I put a redstone block here, and that redstone block is also has a comparator. Let me jump behind this guy. I'm telling you, it's really hard to sort of show you all the redstone here. So this is all part of the super smelter up here, but this comparator is reading a power level of 15. And in a hopper, which is what this comparator is reading, um, if the hopper is completely full, it will also give out um, a power level of 15, which then extends this piston, which lights this redstone line, and we'll go around the chests here. So this redstone line, which turns off this torch, which turns off this redstone line, which is powering this block, which would which then allows this torch to stay on, which locks this hopper. So this bamboo's locked here. And this is the very bottom chest of that stack of chests. And what that hopper is feeding into is this dispenser here, which spits out into a um, water line, like an ice line. So it spits it back in, and that ice line will actually go all the way back to the beginning of the furnace array. So what that line, what all of that redstone is telling the super smelter is that the furnaces are still out of fuel. So it will take fuel from the backup bamboo, spit it back into the system, and recycle it. So that's the recycler. It'll recycle bamboo through the super smelter so that the funnels are always full and that no matter who comes to use the super smelter, either Johnny or I, we never have to worry about there being fuel in the system. So then what happens if all of a sudden we're recycling fuel, but also fuel comes in from the bamboo farm, so now we're getting double doses of fuel. That's where this next part comes in. So I pull a comparator. I'm not even sure if you'll ever be able to see this, but I will do my best to explain it to you. I pull a comparator off of this hopper, um, which is just telling you 64, 64, 32. So that's giving me a power output of 8, which is half of a large chest. So in this case, this comparator is locking this comparator. But once this reaches above a power level of 8, so if there were one more piece of bamboo in here or three more pieces of bamboo, then this comparator will light, which extends this redstone block down, um, which then lights this redstone dust, powering this repeater, which powers this block, which then unlocks this, which then so powers this block, which then unpowers this redstone torch and unlocks this hopper that's pulling out of our like top two chests. Well, our top chest. Second to the top chest, I guess. So this is the top one that's getting red. So then it pulls bamboo out of this chest and then down this hopper line, which goes way, way, way down and into this dispenser. And this dispenser then spits out bamboo into this water line, which comes way out. And I'll just do a time skip here to the next portion. All right, I am now on the back portion of my house. So there's the middle room that leads over there to my bedroom. And down here, out of the side of the cliff, is this tube or pipe created out of acacia trapdoors. So that is where that bamboo comes out and flows down this pipe of acacia trapdoors and then into the side of this mountain, which then leads us. Let me fail at parkour here so you guys can all make fun of me. All right, only failed once. Comes up here, and then I did a slight miscalculation of blocks, so this is just temporary. But this is where that pipe comes up, so it goes out that cliff, sharp right turn, underneath these stairs, up here, and then flows across a hopper line and into these chests right here. So as you can see, um, it's become quite full. So we've got this much bamboo and that water line will flow across these chests, and then once all these are full, it'll flow across these ones, and then after these ones fill up, it'll just go into a composter, get turned into bone meal. So that is the redstone for this episode. It took a lot of creative thinking to sort of get that all to work. I think it's fairly simple though. I'm pretty sure I described it well enough for you guys to understand how that super smelter recycler and um, overflow works, and the fact that we have it now flowing into the storage system is also a positive note. The last little bit I want to cover today as a little sneak peek as to what we're going to be working on the next episode and what we're working towards. So, the sneak peek on what we'll be working towards next episode has to do a lot with this guy because he is a Sharpness 4, Frostwalker, and Depth Strider 3. He's a very important librarian, and right now he has access to free roam. And a lot of villagers have died from zombies, from just being stuck out at night and getting shot by mobs. It's a problem. So what I'm doing here, and this is in the basement, so this is where I've got a bunk bed set up for villagers to sleep at night. This is my backyard. So I've dug out this wall here and started to dig out this mountain, and that bookcase should give you a little hint as to what this room is going to be. So we're going to be working on this room next episode. There's also a path that goes down the outside. And then this is that cliff that I just built, the inside of the cliff. So I'm going to be decorating this. I've already got large windows here to look out from this cliffside. And then we'll be housing librarians in this room so that they are stuck and we can always go to find them quickly when we need a book to enchant gear or enchant armor and tools and things. So the last little bit is right here up these stairs, what we're working towards. So if you guys remember, we made this map here. Hello, Mr. Cartographer, standing in front of my map. Episode 1. This is what our villager looked like day 1. Or this is what our village looked like day 1. So all the paths are natural there. Johnny's house is beginning to be built here. My house is directly underneath this plateau, but there's no tree farm up here. There's no ice farm up here, which is what we've been using. There's no um, houses or anything down below here. So this is day 1 and what we're going to be using to track our progress. So what we're going to do on episode 10, every 10 episodes, we're going to make a new map. Hello, Mr. Cartographer again, so that you can see the updates and we can track our updates as we slowly build out this village, add more houses, and clean up paths, and create farms around this area as we start to expand this world and grow. So every 10 episodes, we'll make a new map and post them around. Probably make a map room, or maybe I'll just keep these in the library downstairs, but for right now, it's here. And that's what we're working towards. So episode 10, and I'm trying to sort of finalize projects that we've started and make some significant changes to the world that will be shown on that map. So next episode, you will see something way down there beyond the village start to come into view, and then we will also work on the library. So thank you so much as I balance here on this torch. Thank you so much for watching this episode. I know I talked a lot. We're going on like a lot here, as well as those moments with Johnny designing and building this storage system. So I appreciate you guys watching this episode again. If you made it all the way to the end of the episode, just please do me a favor and hit that like button. It does nothing for you, but means the world to me because it'll help YouTube know that you enjoyed the video and that you finished the video, and then it'll start to recommend this video to other people so that we can get a better outlook and a bigger audience watching the episodes. Thanks for your time, and any comments down below, I'll do my best to respond to all of them. I mean, right now I'm a really small creator, so it's easy for me to respond to comments. Let's start a discussion down below. If you've got anything you'd like to offer, or any ideas that you have for what we can do to prepare for that episode 10, it'd be great. Again, we'll see you. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.